Hi everyone. How are you doing? Today the is Friday. How are you doing today? Just want to go ahead and take a little bit of Margaux. Welcome to another wonderful episode of Margaux with Margaux. How is everyone doing? Happy Friday. Happy quarantine. Happy stay away from everybody, the whole bit. And are you washing your hands? But anyway, I just want to say hello, happy Friday, and pull up your glass like this. If you have a glass of wine or soda, anything, and just say, welcome everyone and happy Friday. I hope everyone has had a wonderful week. Um, Yesterday I was feeling a little bit under the weather again. Nothing coronavirus related, but I did feel that I should take another day off. And it actually has been quite nice. Have you been enjoying your time off from work? Are you doing anything fun? Are you learning a little bit about yourself? Maybe thinking of some new ideas, maybe making some changes in your life? Maybe spending more time with your family now that you've had a chance to spend more time with your family and kids. I think when everything is difficult in life or challenging, it's always a great time to reflect and make some new changes. This could be a moment in your life that you make the biggest decisions of your life that can make your life better, more interesting, more enhanced, whatever the case may be. It's been challenging for myself because I'm A type and I like to do a lot. So personally, it was good for me to take some time off and kind of think about what I'm doing in business, what areas I need to change, what is good, what's not working, and sort of do a sort of a mild kind of introspection period. And it's been quite rewarding and interesting, and I've learned a lot. So it's all been quite good. Let me go ahead and get started on a couple of things. Did you guys watch did you watch today's news conference with the president? And do you know some information? I'm going to go ahead and share with you what was passed today. They had a big ceremony at the White House, and he signed a historic $2 trillion stimulus package as the American public and U.S. economy fight with the spread of coronavirus, or COVID 19. The far-reaching legislation stands as the largest emergency package in United States history. It represented a massive financial injection to a struggling economy with provisions aimed by helping American workers, small businesses, and industries grappling with the economic disruption. Especially when you read the news that over 3 million people this week filed for unemployment. It's pretty staggering numbers. I find the whole thing quite interesting. Now, if you are a person who qualifies for any of those areas, I recommend going on to the website. The White House has a website. I'm going to find out some more ways you can find this information. So if you do qualify for any of these types of programs that the president mentioned, I recommend do it now. Don't wait a second. Because there's obviously 340 million people in our country, and do it now. So even if you're listening to me, grab the internet, start searching, and start applying for this stuff immediately. One of the things I'm always worried about when there's a surplus or when these types of things are granted, that they don't want, one, run out of money, or the system that they have in place to help everyone, there's problems and holdups and the whole bit. So it's always good to be very proactive. I recommend applying right away if you qualify for any of these types of programs, and see what you need to do and learn that information. Obviously, if there's someone in your family who isn't very computer savvy, I recommend go over, talk to them about it, so you have a plan. You always have to have a game plan in life. Now, if you have another idea, if one of your family, if you feel, I'm just going to tell it what I've done personally. I have created my home to where if anyone got sick, my husband or any significant person in my life, I figured out a way I can take care of them. That's how much planning I've done. I don't recommend that much planning. That's a little over the top, a little 8+ personality. I've also figured out how to get the treatments that are available, the anti-malaria medications everyone's talking about. I've already worked on that. I'm way ahead because in my life, I just can't afford to get sick. I can't have someone close to me get sick. It's just be the worst. So I rather have the feeling I have is better safe than sorry, and be prepared. I do have to share with you the number of cases in the United States is over 100,000 cases. So we're number one as far as cases in the U.S. of people who have coronavirus, which, and what I read, if it's true or not, you always have to double check everything. They said 100,000 people are tested daily. So at that rate, it's going to be explosive amount of numbers. I wouldn't be surprised if it got to 1 million or 2 million people. But I think what's important is whether the number goes up high or whatever those outside indicators are, the best line of defense is really doing what you can. I protect myself. I wear a mask. I have gloves. I posted some information where you can put all types of other material. I recommend cover. Everyone has a different opinion. If it works, if it doesn't work, if it's, are you covering too much? I am on the side of caution, and I disinfect everything, wash my hands obsessively. Even if you're home, wash your hands. I always do. Another good thing I do is I drink tea, so fluids are in my mouth. So if the bacteria gets in my mouth, it won't get to my lungs because I'm always gargling with salt. I recommend doing your own research. What works for you? Do you have dry mouth? Are you touching a lot of things? So you have to sort of evaluate what works for you. I still find it surprising to go to some stores and they don't have the rules as far as space 6 feet away from each other. I always find that a little odd. So I politely make sure that I'm 6 feet away. And if someone's near me, I politely say, excuse me, and I do all the things that I need to do. I'm very cognizant when I leave the house what I do with my hands. When I go into the car, what do I touch in the store? I have gloves. I wash the gloves. Another good thing to do because apparently the virus can stay on the gloves. Also, wash your clothes. Now, depending on what you do outside your home, would determine how much clothes washing you should do. I wash it. I don't take a chance. Pull the clothes off, stick it in the washing machine. Boom, it's done, and I'm prepared, and I know that I've taken care of myself. No germs lingering anywhere that I can possibly find, and disinfect, because it's going to be really shocking when those numbers start to jump up high. Especially, I'm in California, I'm in Los Angeles area, and when those numbers start to jump high, oh my goodness, you're going to be aware that there's even more people that are out there that are maybe potential are carrying the virus, but obviously don't know that they have it. And if you go to the stores or out in public, you notice a lot of people do not have gloves on. They don't have a face mask. So they're just touching everything. So just be mindful, be careful. Don't panic, but I just think of it as a serious mission that you're on. Get to the store, get with your food, get your stuff, and get home and be prepared. I think another thing that they need to do is you need to really look at the guidelines that the government on the stimulus plan, because you may qualify not even be aware of it. I would spend the time, the focus to really do the research, whatever the category you fall into, and make sure you got this information. Apparently, once these small businesses get the loans, they will be forgivable loans. In other words, it'll be like grants, quote unquote, and you won't have to pay the government back. So this is a really smart, good opportunity to take advantage of this moment. I think I was thinking of doing a show just about small businesses and what to do and get more information to share with you guys, because I think it's important to talk about how you could take advantage of this moment. It's kind of a terrible moment that we're all going through, but if a windfall or something positive can happen for you, you should take advantage of it. It is what it is. Any smart business person will tell you that people take advantage of things in some of the most difficult times. That's when things are a little shaky and there's little openings that you can kind of tap into and take advantage of the moment in business. So it's a good time to evaluate. Another good thing to do as well is use your time effectively. I would write down my goals. Perhaps you're sitting there thinking, I don't like my job. I don't like this. If there are things about my life, perhaps use as a moment to learn about yourself. There's a lot of different things about yourself you may not even become aware of. Like, for instance, me doing this show. I had no idea I would be doing something like this. None whatsoever. Came about spur of the moment, decided to just jump in and do it. And I actually fell in love with it, and now I get to meet you guys, which has been great, and it's really enhanced my life and given a little bit more meaning to it. I want to do the show to use it for good, spread positive information to everyone that you could take advantage of, and that is of value to you. Now, another good thing I think to do is to watch the press briefings every day. Now, I know you're busy, but record it if you can. Record it, and you can always speed through the whole thing. Because what I'm finding is once the president does give the presentation and everyone, the coronavirus task force that comes on board and speak, you look in the media or read about it, it's not what you saw exactly. I think it's smarter for you if you really want to know what's going on is to watch the press briefings yourself, form your own opinion of what you feel is good, what you feel is not good, because depending on who the writer is and depending on who's saying it, it's always being spun around a little bit. It's hard to get very honest, very solid, good information. So it's good to watch the press briefing yourself, make an opinion, especially when the two Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birch, I think her name is, come on board because they explain the type of models that they are looking at. They're always trying to predict what's going to happen in the future based on what information they have so far and what they've experienced in the US. And believe it or not, it's still not a lot of data to go out to fully understand the impact of this. And so they're always analyzing information. They give you some insight on how they analyze the information, what is the best course of action moving forward. There's this whole debate that the president really wants to just throw everybody back into work. And he really doesn't care about people being sick. I just don't agree with that. I think he really does care, but he really cares about the economy and knows the long-term ramifications in that particular case as well. And so you sort of have to judge how do you get this economy started? Thank God I'm not the president of the United States. Thank goodness I'm not a politician. It is not an easy decision. I love what I do. I'm happy where I'm at, but I have the deepest respect for the president and all the politicians that are involved in this whole thing. There is no easy answer to any of this stuff. So I just want to say thank you. I'm going to get a little bit closer to the camera. Here I am. Oh, let me show you the fireplace. Did you guys get a chance to see it? There it is. There's a little bit of the fireplace, which I really like. Now, I'm getting to learn a little bit of camera angles and all that stuff, so it's been kind of fun. But I just think it's important to watch the press briefing, pull information you think is important. If you do qualify for any of these type of programs that the president that are part of the stimulus package, go ahead and start applying right away. I wouldn't waste 1 second in getting that information out there. I'm going to read to you some of the. Now, if you feel you have any of these symptoms, I'm going to read to you the symptoms real quick. Trouble breathing, persistent pain and pressure on the chest, confusion or inability to arouse, bluish lips or face. If you feel you have it and you're over 65, I know in some cases you can qualify to take the test. Now that 100,000 tests are taken and you feel you have these symptoms and you're over age 65, if I were you, I would just call 911, honestly. I wouldn't waste any time. If I really seriously felt that I had any of these symptoms, I wouldn't waste a breath. I would call, boom, immediately, and stating what I needed to do to figure out what I needed to do to take care of myself. I also recommend learning about those anti-malaria treatments, because the more information you know, if a family member goes to the hospital, you could ask for certain things, right? Because you're smart, and do all your research. Learn about as many of the medications as it happened, the more knowledge you have. What I find is I usually, when I have a treatment, normally if I have to go to the hospital or any type of operation, I know so much information that the doctor is usually in shock, because I ask So many questions. I trust everyone, but I'm always very careful. Read, do your research. So if something unfortunately does happen, you're well prepared for yourself and your family. I cannot stress that enough. Obviously, if you have family members who are not internet savvy or need assistance, call them and do great things for them. I've always been very tech savvy, so I'm always helping relatives and people in my family and everything I can do to help anyone. And I share information, even if people say, "Well, Margaux, you're sending me quite a lot of information." I send it anyway because it may be that one piece of information that may change their life. And I love you. I love my family, and I just think it's great. I'm just going to do a little quick toast, real quick. Oh, a little bit of wine, real quick. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's really important to know as much information as you can. If your company, if you have a small business and you qualify, apply right away. Start getting the information you can as quickly as you can. Now that it's been approved, and take advantage of what you can take advantage of. Also, we talked a little bit about that. I did mention a couple of days ago a gentleman who was very, very sick actually started praying. He's very religious and prayed and believed that God actually healed him on the spot. So I thought that was quite moving and quite inspiring, that we know that the angels in heaven are looking out for us and is working through all of us to get to the bottom line, to get this done. I call on all the beautiful angels in heaven to protect and guide us as we go through this period. I also want to do a quick prayer for all those who have coronavirus. I wish you speedy recovery, good thoughts, good healing, and good energy come your way. And of course, if someone in your family has passed away, they are in heaven and they are looking down on us to find a cure and to get through this period. And they did not die in vain. We're going to live a full human existence, and we will honor their lives and whoever. I've been really blessed. I don't know of anyone close to me, my family, that has coronavirus, but I send my loving thoughts. If you are my family and you're looking at this, I send you loving thoughts and kindness and love to you, because we're going to get through this together. So there's a lot of great information online, but I do recommend taking the time, watching the press conference, record it, watch it yourself, because when I look online and when I read other people's comments, it's not exactly what was actually said about what happened. It's usually biased or spin a different way. So it's important to get the right information so you can make the best decisions for yourself and your family. I think that's really important. I also want to talk about a little bit of binge watching. Have you guys been watching any TV shows? Anything fun? Tell me anything great that you've been watching that's been pretty good. There's a lot of great TV. Do you know how many television shows there are? If you've watched me in previous, I told you I have a list by my bed. Well, one of the shows on the list is Ozark. Have you guys seen Ozark? It streams on Netflix. It's in its third year. It's unbelievable. You have to go see it. It's an American crime drama created by Bill Duke and Mark Williams for Netflix. Justin Bateman is in it. He's been nominated. Laura Linney is unbelievable in the role. It's a married couple, let me tell you a little bit, who is forced to relocate their family to the Ozarks to launder money for a Mexican drug cartel. If that doesn't grab your attention, I don't know what will. Go see it. Wonderful show. It's in its third year. I just started watching it really early this morning. I still have many episodes to go. The third season, first season, 1 and 2 are on Netflix. Third season just started yesterday. Lots of great show. Should watch it. It is so good. Just watch one episode. If you say, "Oh my God, Margaux, I really can't see that many episodes," see the first one. You will love the show on the first episode. There's some shocking moments on that show. Have you seen it? I know you have. Okay. There's some unbelievable shocking moments on that show. Unbelievable. Netflix. See it. Ozark. Third year. So if you wanted to always know what it would be like to see a family, father, mother, kids in a part of the Mexican Cartel, Regular Family. This is a show for you. I have to admit, I do like anything dealing with cartel, mob, crime thrillers. Love, 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 love them all. I don't know why. I have no idea. They're fascinating, they're thrilling, and they're interesting. So Ozark's a really good show. So put it on your list if you have it. Streaming now, Netflix. Oh, by the way, Netflix is not paying me, guys, so I do this for myself. So you guys join in and have fun and watch a show. Another great television show to watch is This Is Us. Now, I didn't get to see season 4 because I was so busy the last few months. Now that I don't travel, now that I don't have any meetings, now everything's been primarily reduced to anyway, it's nothing to complain about. I have more time. So I love This Is Us. I streamed the first and second season really good. I did get a chance to meet Dan Fogelman at a big event screening last year. Really nice guy, lovely family, lovely wife, just amazing. But this show, I literally try not to cry on each episode. I'm usually sobbing. So if you really want to see a show that's about family and love during this time, during the coronavirus, during this moment in history, This Is Us, I highly recommend. Now, you can see seasons 1 through 3 on Netflix. Season 4 just finished, and I believe you can stream it if you have DirecTV. If you have one of the cable stations, you can see season 4, which just finished. It's unbelievable. I just love the film. It's American. It's a comedy drama series, so it is a little bit of comedy in there. It's won awards. Sterling K. Brown, which is one of the main stars of the film, he plays the son. He's won a Golden Globe, Critics' Choice. Mandy Moore has been nominated. Chrissy Mess, oh my gosh, she's unbelievable. Every time Chrissy speaks, you feel it from her heart. She's just wonderful. And I got a chance. I went to a big Q&A on this show a couple of years ago. It was for the Emmys, and it was just fantastic to see the cast together laughing and talking about the show and the aging of the process of the film, because don't want to give much away, but the show goes back and forth in time. Must see the film. If you really want to see a family show during this time with your kids, I truly believe this is one of the best shows to watch on television. Very heartwarming, wonderful, the whole bit, and you will absolutely enjoy This Is Us. So This Is Us is one show that I just finished last week. The other one's Ozark. I'm now on season 3. I'm streaming that, and I probably will binge watch it. Probably will binge watch it. Now, another thing to think about is perhaps this is a time in your life when you go through a difficult time, which we all have ups and downs in life. It's a time to really get to know yourself. I highly recommend meditating. I highly recommend spending time alone, reading a book, learning about another life, another place other than where you are in your life that you could be inspired and grow from. I'm always enhanced. My life is always enhanced when I read a wonderful novel. I probably will put up a list at some point of books that I've read that have been inspirational. I do read a lot of self-help books and a lot of business books, which has been my forte because I'm in several industries, and it's good for me to kind of keep my mind sharp, as they say. Oh, I know a good book. Have you guys ever read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey? Oh my God, it's a really, really good book about sharpening the saw, and it helps you to understand that other people have different perceptions. Because I have my reality, you have your reality, and how do you get along? And it's always fascinating because you think you know what the other person is, but you really don't. I mean, we're all living in sort of a prism of our own selves and our own reality and our own perceptions. And it's fascinating that you can sort of believe you know someone, but really they're sort of showing you a glimpse of who they are. And of course, because you're seeing them through your perception, you have no idea who they are really, right? So life is an incredible journey. It's a wonderful experience. There's dark things that we go through, but gosh, if you're listening to this pot thing, you're lucky because There's so many people that are suffering at a rate in the world that's unbelievable that you can never imagine. And any difficult time I go through, I always think of people that have less than me or have less, who have gone through even more horrendous things than I could ever imagine, of how blessed and how wonderful I have it. It's great to be grateful. Take a deep breath, live in the moment, be happy, and make something wonderful of this gift called life. Even if you just help one person in your life, that's one person you didn't know. When I'm always out, I always think of how I can do something good. What good things can I share with people? And so this show became a perfect thing for me to do, because I always think of, what can I do to help other people? What is it that I can share, or even give, that I think could be an inspiration and to make you think and become more. There's a lot of great information online about the coronavirus, all the horrendous statistics. Obviously, we have more cases than anyone in the world. I do feel that we're going to get a handle on this. We have a president that's very proactive and wanting results and getting things done. And I think that's the best kind of president we could have at this time. Someone who's working extremely hard to make sure that everything is covered. So I do feel the government, our federal government, is doing a good job, in my opinion. Obviously, everybody has their opinion, but my viewpoint, I feel that he is. I do feel that every official who's a state official or a local official are stepping up. I think as a whole, nobody wants to see anyone die. This is really serious time in our history. This is the kind of thing people will look back on, but we each need to do our part. If you do feel sick, stay at home, follow the requirements. It's not easy, especially me. I love social gatherings, love fine dining, love meeting friends, a whole bit, love going to great business meetings. I even miss listening to all the startups and business people that I get a chance to meet. It's always fun and interesting, because it's a great chance for me to learn and grow and to meet interesting people. I love people. And so it's not easy for any of us. But at the end of the day, we're in this together, ladies and gentlemen. We're all doing our part. I'm still trying to figure out more I can do, and I'm working on it. And I'll just continue to strive for the best. And we'll continue to build, and we'll continue to do what we need to do to continue to make good things happen for ourselves. So I want to thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend. I will be back on Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we can have another little chit chat and keep up on what's going on. And I want to thank you for joining me for another fun episode of Margaux with Margaux. Here's my wine, Margaux, and that's how I came up with the name. I love you guys. Have a good weekend. And we will be in touch on Monday, 7 p.m. sharp, I promise. Have a good weekend. Have a good day and a better tomorrow. Oh, one more note. Follow me on Twitter. I have Margaux Monet. That's me. And I have Margaux Show, 2 Twitter accounts, one for the show, one for me personally. I also have a film company, JK Metro Media. I also have an investment company, Monet Capital Funding. I also, at one point, was going to buy a fashion business, and still thinking of it, but I created this whole account, which is Margaux Monet Designs, because I have a lot of designs ideas that I've been working on. So this is a good chance for me to think about those things as well. I love doing a lot of things. I love learning and growing, and most of all, I love you guys for tuning in and finding out what's going on. So tune in for Monday. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm everywhere. Thank you for joining me. Take care. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.